Miami-based startup, Maritime. I was about to say, don't trust any businesses from Florida. That is like one of the old VC jokes. It's like, oh my God, it's a business from Florida. Oh my God, it can't be real because there's all these sketchy businesses. But when you said maritime software, I started paying attention. Hey, Florida's a peninsula. That makes sense. And you have your first paying customer. You need funding to expand. Where do I start looking? Palm Jeff, great Twitter handle. Well, if you have one paying customer, that means you could have 10. So I would work on getting a couple of more paying customers, and then I would look at your customers. If they're paying for the software, they might actually want to angel invest. So a lot of times your first customers become your best angel investors. I've seen that happen over and over and over again. In fact, a lot of the investors in Uber in the subsequent rounds were people who had used the product and fell in love with it and had gone all Uber, full Uber as we call it, got rid of their cars, owning a car, and went full Uber. So I think getting more customers, one's good, but I would get to 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I would talk to them about angel investing because they know your product best. Another great hack, look for people who've invested in a similar company from the last paradigm. So let's say you're in cloud-based enterprise software, and you're doing HR software. Look at the people who invested in the client-server HR software in the 90s. Look at the people in the 80s and who made money off of that, or who recently sold a company. So if you were going to make a home security camera system, you could look at the people who invested in Dropcam and made a decent amount of money, or who worked there previously but were no longer working there, because they already know your pitch, they know your company. So if I'm looking at maritime, I'm going to look for anybody who made maritime software and exited, or any maritime related product, right? So there might be a service that's the Airbnb of maritime stuff, and they already know the market, they know how large it is, they know who the major players are. You don't have to explain this to them. So you want to speak to an audience that is friendly and is informed. So that's the way I like to do it. I like to look at who else is in this. You might run into competitors. That's why it's good to look for people who have already exited and been out of it, right? So if Dropcam was currently an independent company and we're doing Butterfly, I wouldn't look at Dropcam employees and investors and say, hey, go invest in Butterfly. But if they sold 2 years ago and they're no longer there and they were an investor and they thought Dropcam should have kept going, hey, maybe they want to reinvest some of the Dropcam profits into Butterfly, which is like, light speed ahead, a paradigm shift ahead of where Dropcam left off. So that's a really good hack I've seen work. It's a real honor for me to be in such a deep and meaningful partnership with the team at IBM. My first computer was an IBM PC Junior, and it took me 6 months to convince my dad to save up the money from his bar. And one night, he got home from the bar at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was annoying him as a 12-year-old. I really want the PC Junior. It's $900. Please get me a PC Junior. And he said, fine. He was kind of half in the bag at the time. And we drove to downtown Manhattan to this computer store on Lower Broadway. I'll never forget it. It was a Saturday morning. He had been out all night Friday. And he had cash. And he walked in and he bought me the IBM PC Junior. And it was the greatest computer. It started me on my journey. And now, wow, it's like 30 years later, and I'm in a deep partnership with IBM. I can pinch myself. It's really just super great to have the recognition of a world-class company like IBM who cares just as much as I do and my team does about supporting founders. So SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp2015.com. If you're a fan of the show and you appreciate all the work we do at Launch Festival, please go to your local SmartCamp 2015 and encourage entrepreneurs to go to it. And then, of course, you're all my guest, and you're the guest of IBM and Launch at Scale and at the Launch Festival. Couldn't do it without their support, and it's just such a great partnership, and it's just beginning. So thanks again to our friends at IBM, and we'll see you next time on a special Ask Jason episode.